Hey, everybody. Hey, how are you? Hello. Hello. Am I all alone in this room? Or am I surrounded by white people? Oh, white people. Anyway, I haven't brought up the white people in a while because I stopped thinking they were funny. And today is the very first Juneteenth. I mean, not the very first ever, the very first as an officially recognized federal holiday, national level celebrated, recognized, signed into law. Like, yeah, is a thing, it's an official thing. And so maybe today let's not be surrounded by white people. Braxton, you have the night off. Chaz, you can shut the frick up and don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. Oh my God, Caden, I won't need you for this one, buddy. Just back on out of here. Just take Clarissa. Take Clarissa. You just go. Yep. Ian, I haven't talked about you in forever. It's just lurking back there like an Ian is wont to do. You know where the door is. You go on get. You go on you get. We're having weekend type fun. This is volume 10 of that thing that has happened sometimes. Which 10 is a very even number, which means that I don't know, volume 10 is special or important. It's kind of amazing that I've done this 10 times in a row, given the fact that, like, I do it with certain. There are ways to enhance your productivity. Shall we say what I do before I make these is not an enhancement of productivity? I mean, typically. This normally puts one in a much more at ease state of mind. Anyway, regardless, I have to do the voice. I have to do the voice that I do at the beginning of all of these and have never missed a single episode. Go back, watch all of them. Just kidding. Don't. Live your life. Go on, fly free. Hey, did you know the Beatles song Blackbird was written about, like, the Beatles had seen the I believe it was Montgomery, Alabama. I could be wrong. But when the children were attempting to integrate into white schools, sheriffs and whatnot called dogs, like set dogs on them and sprayed them with fire hoses and whatnot. And yet it set off, like, people all around the world saw that image, and, like, if you're going to, like, basically have a, attack type position against children, such a, like, a step toward the much more militarized police type action that we have in America today. You're going to do that, and you're going to do that to children who are trying to go to school. Like, everyone around the world saw that and were just so disgusted. Yeah. Anyway, so Blackbird, the song the Beatles wrote in response to that, realizing that, there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. It was the time for civil rights to become law, and although it's been difficult to enforce everything and to try to tread back and turn the wheel back and correct against the many, many terrible things that we had done along the way, like, anyway, yeah, I I don't know where I was going with this, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, today is Juneteenth, and yeah, so kind of cool that is a thing now. And so anyway, we it's an official recognition of like, hey, it, it's both a recognition of how far we've come, and it's a recognition of how far we have to go, and what we need to do to get there. So honestly, I think it's a big step in the right direction. So yeah, it was. We'll see. There'll be some things in here. I'll get to it. You know what? There's lots of things I'll get to. I've just already been here for 6 minutes of your time and haven't even done the voice that I do, which is literally the only thing I need to do on this slide. Like, I've done this is the 10th time I've done this. You think I don't know what I'm supposed to do on the first slide? I know. Anyway, okay, let's do this. Let's do the voice. Weekend Type Fun Volume 10. Thank you. Thank you. With our host, Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. Yes, that's me. I'm Rem Pemberton. This is a new thing that I'm doing, and I like it. I like thinking about Rem Pemberton. He's my favorite person that I've been in a while. Which I don't mean that I'm not happy as myself. I just mean like in terms of putting on a character. Yes, always acknowledge that it's a character when you're going into it, so that people are like, is that really him or is he doing a character? Nope, it's really me. Anyway, but like, yes, Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons, who is really actually me. Be fooled by it. Suspend your disbelief. Rem Pemberton is me. Is your disbelief suspended yet? Okay, you're getting sleepy because you've listened to the rest. You've listened to what's happened in this episode so far, which is practically nothing. So you're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. And when you hear the sound of me saying with our host, you'll realize that Rem Pemberton is a very good name, and that it sounds very much like a real name, and like it's the real name of our actual host, who is the person whose voice I'm listening to right now. With our host, Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. Thank you. Hi. Rem Pemberton here. Okay. Hey, Dingus, don't forget to play the theme song during this part. I would have. That was thank you, me. There's 100% a liability that I might forget to play the theme song. Sing along if you know it.
This has always been the theme song. This has always been the theme. This has always been the theme song. This has always been the theme.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. The cha puts it over the top. Anyway, hey, here's the sitch. We're going to give the DL on the down low. The get down on the down go. The get down on the dance flow. The get down when you get low. The get down with the girl hoe. Wait, what? That girl's a hoe? Don't get down no more. Pfft. My God, you were getting down and she's a hoe? Look, sir, Mr. Man. Hey, calm first. I see your butt not being calm over here. Calm your butt. Calm your big jiggly wibbly butt. Like, seriously, calm it. Calm it. Oh my God. Did you see the stuff I have to put up with? Do you see, sir? I'm not even addressing you right now. I'm talking to these good people. Do you see what I have to put up with over here? Now, I am talking about you, you big galoot. Yeah, that's right. You're quite large, and you deserve to be called a galoot right now. So, anyway, the situation is this. Like, okay, a lot of times I just put way too much pressure on myself. Like, this is the stupidest thing, but I have a hard time, like, part of my problem is I have a hard time on weekends, especially because I'm like, oh man, I work all week and do all this stuff, and now it's a weekend, and I have a very finite amount of time that is for my interests, for my relationships, for me to like do the part of life that feels the most worth living. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will remember a lifetime of work. And if you have the kind of job that I do where you get to feel like what you do actually makes a difference, you will have a lifetime of difference made. Like, you can look back and you could be like, oh my God, difference made. Like, just because of the nature of work in which I was engaged, not because I myself, like, I was just in the position to help at that critical juncture. Not that there's anything particularly special about the impact that I personally made over, others who have made similar impacts, Anyway, I'm losing my own train of thought. Look, here's what we've decided. My train of thought is that if you ran the trolley problem, the one where you're like, hey, let's have a switching track where you could be like, hey, let's have one guy on this side of the track and this other side of the track be clearly out. And that's the side that they're currently barreling down. And that if the trolley, as it were, barrels down the track that it's currently on, there would be a massive crash. Potentially everyone might die. Versus like, on the other track is one person unaware of the fact that a train is coming. One person standing there, and if you switch the track, their death is assured, but you will likely save the lives of many, many more. So what do? This is the classic morality test. And guess what? Most humans, regardless of ethnicity, race, religious upbringing, all of those factors, nation of origin, what have you, regardless of all these different factors, most people would say you kill the one to save the many. And then there's the fun extensions about like, okay, so say you're a surgeon and you have one healthy person, but you have, a whole butt ton of sick people waiting on grafts and organs and things. Do you slice and dice on the well person, the one well person to make potentially many other people well? No, you do not do that. That's a fun one. Anyway, regardless. But as you can see, what's happening with my train of thought right now is exactly what I'm warning you about. If we ran the situation with my train of thought, I would like most likely, get switched, because look at my train of thought switch constantly, and then, barrel down, hit the one guy, but then attempt to switch back, realize that that's not a switching station, that's just more straight ahead track, and then derailment, and everybody dies. Like, conductor, passengers, and the guy who was on the track. Like, everybody who possibly could die in the trolley experiment dies in the trolley experiment if the trolley being used is my train of thought. So that's part of the sitch. No, but see, here's the thing. Like, I just put too much pressure on myself to, and so, especially on weekends where it's like, am I having as much fun as I could be having? Am I connecting with my children as much as I could be connecting? And guess what? The answer to those questions is always no. Like, you could be spending like 100% maximum time with children, for example, and yet are you optimizing the maximized time? No. Like, and so no matter how good you've done in that, and then assuming like you reach some hypothetical maximize optimize, then you're not having any more time for, your relationship with your wife, or your career goals, or your projects and hobbies that you want to have, or your friendships outside of your home, or any other of these important factors of life. Like, yeah. Oh my God. So I put all this pressure on myself to be like, maximize, optimize when I hit the weekend, which is how workaholics is. Funny, I'm like a reverse workaholic. I'm a relaxaholic. So workaholics hit things like, I've got to make this the best, most, like, get as many in as possible. And yeah, but that's me with relaxing. And so I often get upset with myself if I don't relax properly enough, that's a hard bar to clear. 'Cause like, hey, let me ask you right now, person listening to this, are you relaxed enough? Like, right now? You're listening to this. Are you relaxed enough? Okay, the person most likely listening to this is me. And the answer to that is no, still not. Anyway. But yeah, I'm just gonna take it easy on myself. You know what? This is supposed to be fun. 2 slides in, 18 minutes. There's like 40 billion slides. This is gonna go super well. Let's do it. Like Buddhists. Okay. Oh. I swear it's funny because I make these while I am enjoying my weekend, and then I perform them while I am still enjoying my weekend. And yeah, I mean, it's summertime now, so every day is a weekend, but like I have to make sure that it's not every day is a weekend, because like that's too much weekend for anyone to handle. Like, even if you were in college, that's too much weekend. Like, you gotta study sometimes. Jeez, too much weekend. So yeah, like, I look at the tape. I don't have that many weekends per week. It's actually the same number of weekend days as I have in a weekend if it's during the school year. So there you go. Deal with it. Although not every weekend is a weekend. if you catch my drift. And why would you? Anyway, so I made this and then I forgot what the next slide was going to be because this is the first time I'm seeing it since I made it, and my short-term memory has been affected slightly. So I'm like, new swears, what a novel idea. I forgot that this is even a thing I did, but I bet it's funny. I bet I'm going to enjoy it later. I bet I'm going to enjoy it now, and then I'm going to enjoy myself enjoying it later. And I will have enjoyed the fact that I predicted that I would have been doing that tomorrow. Like, when I hear this part, I will be, like, enjoying the fact that I did it. But the me in the future will have been enjoying that. Okay. Time. New swears. So these are foul words. So bad words that you can use. You can lob at people. So I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not entirely sure how clean this section is. Normally I try to keep it clean. I mean, reasonably so. I mean, you gotta, like, skirt some edges to make the funny, but, like, also recognizing there's a potential that students might see this. Coincidentally, if you're a student, comment that you've seen this and up to this point, and I will give you a Steam key. Yeah. For a Steam game for free that you can have. Do it. I just wonder if anyone ever makes it this far, because I have people who tell me, like, yeah, I watch your videos, and I'm like, yeah, but do you though? Because my views say otherwise. Because my views are me. Anyway, it's fine. They don't have to watch this. They just say they do is the thing. And so they're lying to me about something that I told them not to do in the first place. Right? It'd be like them, like me telling them don't do drugs, and them being like, I do drugs, but they don't actually do drugs. Like, yeah. It'd be something like that. Anyway, or not. Wait, in that scenario, would they do drugs? Because I tell them don't, and don't watch my videos, and then they do, but they actually don't. No, they say they do, but they actually don't. Yeah, because they say they watch my videos, but they actually don't. So they would be like, yeah, we're all on drugs, but they don't do drugs. Oh, thank God. I was worried that I just put my students on drugs just now. Students, get off the drugs. Looking at you in particular. You know who you are. Anyway, I hope I made one student very nervous. Anyway, so, yeah, let's move on. Word number 1. Oh, here's where these came from. I scoured. They have these, like, nonsense word decryption lists, which, guess what? Guess how easy it is to find a blog post by a teacher that's like, teaching nonsense words is nonsense. Because there are always these sort of, curricular based sort of disagreements within the teaching community. Anyway, so yeah, these are all, like, nonsense words devised for kids to see if they know how to read, and I made them dirty. So I wasn't coming up with very evocative nonsense words on my own, And like to have it be a swear word, it has to have a certain. There needs to be a certain punch to it. If you're just like coming off the top of your head with like horrible, you're like, well, what's flurgle? Like that's not a. I don't even that's how can I put a definition on that, But you go to the kids list and it's like plock, and you're like, oh, I know what plock is. I'd tell you about that. Okay. Oh, and also look at this. I mean, this is like sketchy promised, sketchy delivered. Plock. Verb. To penetrate with one's genitals a hole not intended for sexual pleasure, such as a nostril, ear, etc. Say that again and I'll plock your eye socket, you wibble. Yeah, it's the kind of thing you're going to hear down on the wharf. Whatever a wharf is. That's the sort of place, the place where guys with rolled up shirt sleeves, lift heavy objects that are dampish. Yeah, that's a wharf, right? Also, it's a Klingon on Star Trek. And I like him because when he has to look after Data's cat, Spot, Data's like, you must tell him that he is a good cat and a pretty cat. And Worf's like, I will feed him. Oh, who played Worf? It's like, I have an action figure of him. I'm pointing to it right now. It's on the end of my shelf. And also, like, I have the Learn to Speak Klingon audio book. And he's the one who narrates it. So that's how you know, like, Kaplach. Kaplach means success. Klingons traditionally shout Kaplach when wishing one another luck on, anyway, I wish I could remember the actor's name, but there's no way of knowing. I almost said Spock. No.
Okay.
Give me Worf on Star Trek.
Here are matches for Star Trek.
Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Here are matches for Star Trek The Next...
Oh my God, you are the worst. How do you not... Oh... Okay, you just keep reading this one slide while I look up Worf. Okay, I should have gone to Wikipedia. Michael Dorn. Oh my God. Take away my nerd card. Rip it. Tear it in twain. And toss the pieces into a smoldering campfire, and you spit on it. For lo, I am not worthy to call myself a nerd. Can't even remember Michael Landon's name. I'm kidding, Michael Dorn. Michael Landon, this guy. You thought you know what? You know who's a wibble? You are, because here's the next word. Wibble. Noun. A person whose entire female ancestry consists of not only prostitutes, but prostitutes known for doing things that would make other call girls blush with shame. Don't be glab with me, you good-for-nothing wibble. Yeah, it's obviously derogatory. Derivative, derogatory. definitive, declarative, demonstrative. Anyway. I said the thing. Let's do the next one. Glab, adjective, a state of being extremely sexually aroused by the incompetence of others. I had to break up with my rocker of a girlfriend because I caught her getting all glab while watching my roommate fail to assemble an IKEA bookshelf. Yep. Word number 4, rocker, noun, a soup of unidentifiable body fluids left on the bathroom floor in a cheap hotel after a raucous round of coitus and or murder. I don't like the and, I don't like the or. I'm barely okay with the former, and not at all okay with the latter. I mean, you assume if you stay in a cheap hotel that someone has probably coitled on your duvet, and you'd be lucky to get a duvet. You're at a cheap hotel. Anyway, but like you figure that somebody is probably, done things to others. Has probably participated in a team sport while on your bed, and on the same bed that you are now trying to sleep a comfy yet inexpensive night's sleep on. You assume kind of that, like, okay, we're just really putting a lot of faith in laundry detergent right now because who knows what's transmissible and how. Anyway, but the and or murder, look at me coming down hard. You know what? I'll do it. I'm making a firm stance. Today is a day for standing up what you believe in. I am anti-murder. I'm against it. Like, I don't think it should be allowed. Nope, not at all. Yeah, anti-murder. Coming down hard on that. Then I remembered it was Juneteenth, and I'm like, oh, yeah, we still got work to do. Anyway, we'll get there maybe. Like, if any large asteroids don't wipe us all out first, we'll probably 6-7 generations away from being reasonably fine. Oh, jeez. Anyway, anyway, moving on. Oh, a realization. Thank God. I knew this was coming up, but I did not know it was coming now. And quite frankly, I am relieved because I think it's going to be fine. So, the realization. This week, Congress nearly unanimously made Juneteenth a federal holiday. 2 days ago, President Biden signed that bill into law, making it a fact that Juneteenth is now a federally recognized holiday, an official national holiday. And, so there were people who voted against it, some of whom were like, oh, we give these federal holidays, but we don't recognize the fact that, like, oh, all these federal people get time off, but guess who doesn't? Guess who has to bear the weight of that, of federal workers not going to work on that day? Oh, it's the general public. And it's like, you know what? No. The general public also likes to take a good holiday off. And so, like, unless you're talking about people working in, like, service type industries where they're, bringing us food and taking care of our most immediate, like, food and housing needs, hotel clerks and, convenience store and fast food workers, like, uh, and I'm not saying that those people don't matter. I mean, certainly they do. But if you take it, there's certain jobs where if you take them with an understanding that, like, oh, holidays and weekends, I might be here, Anyway, so yeah, that's not is not even a thing. Like, um, anyway, regardless, so yeah, I'm gonna take the 14 people who voted against it. I am going to come up with new definitions for their names because that's the thing to do. They've got names, and we ought to get them out there and be like, hey, these are people who think that we should not have a holiday commemorating the freeing of the final slaves in the United States, the actual literal end of slavery. Like, should we not celebrate that? I mean, look, if we're not going to talk about slavery because, we don't want critical race theory of the books, and we don't want to say anything that might make it seem like that, the white man ever did anything wrong legally or morally. Like, come on, like, ridiculous people and things. So yeah, we have this new holiday, and we recognize the importance of the end of the worst blight on humanity perpetrated in this nation that we know of. So, due to its length, due to its nature, 400 years of, like, yeah, anyway, regardless, it's a good holiday. It's a step in the right direction. Recognize that there has been an issue, celebrate the fact that we have overcome a portion of it, recognize that we have a way to go. And if you can't get on board with that, let's make fun of you. Okay, redefinition number 1, Mo Brooks. Yeah, he's a guy. Ugh. Anyway, Brooks, the new definition. Noun, the last lingering bite of a turd sandwich, soggy and cold, due to how hard it was to choke down the preceding bits of sandwich, and also due to the diarrhea sauce with which the titular turd of the turd sandwich was sauced. The dog wandered in smelling like a bucket of Brooks. It's a good example sentence. Thank you. Thank you. Redefinition number 2, Andy Biggs. He is from Arizona, my home state, and he is related to people that I know. And a really close friend of mine from college, her last name is now Biggs. So, yeah. Because she married someone, she married into that family. So, yeah. Anyway, not thrilled that this guy's like, well, fiscally, and didn't have the moral sense to be like, oh, should we have a holiday celebrating the end of slavery? Yeah. Like, even just for political reasons. You know what I'm saying? Even just to be like, oh, I was on board with that bill that said let's celebrate the end of slavery. Like, just be on board with a very popular thing so that you can be like, I want to be reelected, please. I supported the one thing that we both agree I should have supported. Anyway, yeah. So here's a new definition of Biggs. So it's the saggy, often moist flap of fat which covers the genitals of only the world's most grotesquely obese human beings. The nurse lifted his bigs and gasped to see what appeared to be weak old potato salad growing there. Oh, gross. That's the most disgusting bigs I've ever heard about. Okay. His redefinition number 3 for Andrew Clyde. He looks like a happy gentleman. So Clyde is now a verb. To fail at sexual penetration so badly, one's phallus emerges in the shape of a Norse rune. Get in there, you don't want to Clyde yourself. Oh, you don't want to Clyde yourself. I mean, I knew a guy who clid once. Yeah, that's the past tense. Anyway, Clyding, obviously. Clid, Clyde, Clyding, will Clyde. I mean, obviously we got... If it's a verb, you have to be able to conjugate it, right? Anyway, so, Andrew Clyde. Clyde, verb. To fail at sexual penetration so badly, one's phallus emerges in the shape of a Norse rune. Oh, I already said this part. I totally did. Anyway, get in there. You don't want to Clyde yourself. Yeah, that's good. If Braxton were still here, I'd tell him he did a good job, but he was too white. Not a day to be surrounded by white folk. It starts to look like a rally, and it's not a good thing to be a part of on Juneteenth. Like, be a part of a block party, be a part of a potluck, be a part of a celebration, but yeah, you don't want to. Oh, there are things you don't want to be a part of. Anyway, so yeah. Don't Clyde yourself. There you go. All right, redefinition number 4. This is for Scott Desjardins. Desjardins. Here's the funny thing. When I looked up his picture, the first story that came up was like, Desjardins supported his ex-wife's abortions, it's and had an affair or had sex with his patients, which is wildly illegal. Like, you get disboarded. No, what do lawyers pass the board? And they get barred. What do doctors have? Have your credentials be decredentialed? Have your credentials taken? Anyway, so yeah. If he did sleep with patients, then he should not be able to practice medicine in the United States, at least for a while. Anyway, and to be like, okay, ex-wife, get abortions. It's the kind of thing where, like, he supports it. He's like, tells his people, like, I'm gonna vote against abortion. I'm gonna support these nominations of judges that are gonna try and, overturn Roe v. Wade and stuff. And so, like, yeah, but then when it comes down to, like, his business, he'd be like, yeah, get the abortion. Like, what? Oh my God. I swear, I tell you, I tell my students all the time, like, I don't get offended by content. Like, I don't. No matter how disgusting, like, you could give me the full aristocrats treatment right now, and I'd sit there and listen to you go on for a half an hour in the most vile, disgusting sexual acts the mind can even conjure. And then to end it on a punchline that's like, it's okay. It's a pretty good punchline. I mean, I guess. Feels a bit old. Anyway, but I'm not going to be offended by whatever comes out of your mouth. But what I do get offended by are things like hypocrisy, things like ignorance, especially if it's ignorance that attempts to say, my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge, which is what Isaac Asimov warned against. Those are the kinds of things. Injustice is something that I get offended by. I don't get offended by like a foul joke full of swearing type words, but obviously I can't fill my video full of them. Otherwise they'll be like, you can't monetize this. It's foul. It's foul content. Yeah. So like, whatever. I figure like just keep it YouTube clean, because why not? I've got students who come here from time to time, or at least claim to. They're full of crap. Hey, put Scott Desjardins, put his name in a comment. If you see it, I will give you dose on the Steam keys. For real. No joke, no lie. Bet. And then me watching this later, like, potentially just mindlessly flipping back through my channel a year from now, looking at it and be like, oh, this one, okay. And then watching it, seeing this part, and looking down in the comments and seeing no comments. And students be like, no, I totally watch your videos. And me be like, no, you don't. And also don't. Anyway, stupid. All of us. Desjardins. Noun. A gritty bit of half-congealed spittle found on the wall of men's rooms. Those are gross and I hate them. Anyway. Paul Gosar. Look at this. This is his official picture. This is like one that he had a photographer take of him, trying to look official. He looks like number one dingus of the year at the Dingus convention in this picture. And this is the one that he's like, I can do a government. and the funny thing, he's from Arizona, and so he's the one who's all of his siblings, all of them, put together a video and we're like, hey, guess who we think is a real piece of crap? Our brother, Paul Gosar, who is running for Congress. And don't you freaking elect him, because he's a real piece of work and we don't like him. And these are his siblings, like all of them. All of his siblings. Can you imagine? Because this is like, there are like 5 people in that video. So first of all, hey, decently large family. Mine is still bigger than yours, but whatever. But secondly, holy crap, dude. Like, what did you do? I have 5 sisters and one of my brothers passed away. Let's think about that. This is still very recent. Anyway, let's think about my 5 sisters. Okay? To get my 5 sisters to sign off on being like, our brother is a piece of crap, do not vote for him. Like, to get all of them on board, I mean, who's to say that there's not at least one of them on board with that idea right now? Is just ready to like send in a video to the school board and be like, don't let him teach children. He's not fit for human consumption. Which they are probably accurate. Please don't make videos telling them the truth. They haven't figured it out yet, and it's the only way I can make a living. Anyway, yeah. But this is Paul Gosar. I'm just trying to imagine this scenario in which my own siblings would hate me as much as Paul Gosar's hate him. And I have a hard time imagining it. Like, I'd have to be a real piece of crap. Like honestly, I would have to be openly pedophile and just like proud of it and telling people like it's what I'm into, and and that's the point at which my family would be like, this freaking guy needs to be stopped, which is what Paul Gosar's family did for him. Anyway, so this is Gosar. Noun. The buttocks of an aging woman which has, for reasons unknown to all, so us, her, anyone who might be interested, her buttocks which have begun to take on the shape of normal polygons. Your squares, your hexagons, your great stellated dodecahedrons. Just kidding. It's more of a squares, rectangles, maybe the occasional hexagon. But yeah, that's what you get. Redefinition number 6, Ronnie Jackson. Yeah. Oh, this is that freaking guy. Okay. He was a White House doctor when number 45 was in office, and is like, do you see this grotesquely obese man? He weighs 239 pounds. And America was like, did you forget to round off the bottom of that 2 and turn it into a 3? Because we don't believe you. Because we have eyeballs peering out the fronts of our heads and brains processing the ocular information that we receive. And yeah, anyway, so he got a seat in Congress. Like, the guys who's like, number 45 is a rare genetic specimen. Like, well, you're probably not wrong there, but like, not for the reasons you think, stupid. Oh, goodness, this guy. Anyway, yeah, of course he voted against it. Jackson, noun, a standard unit of measurement for the elasticity of the human rectum. And it even has a scientific symbol. Fun fact, the average human's rectum has only around 35 Jacksons of elasticity. But the hilariously named Ronnie Jackson of Texas has a rectum with 145.7 Jacksons. Yeah, that's a lot of Jacksons. Who thought we'd have a special measurement just for the elasticity of the human rectum? But you know what? When we got it, when we were like, this is a thing we need to measure and know, who did they think of first to name the thing? Jackson. Yeah, that's right. Here's the redefinition number 7. Halfway. This is Doug LaMalfa. Looks like he's got a mouth full of stupid. Anyway, LaMalfa, adjective, Italian origin. I don't know why I did that way. That's, hey, just so you know, I can do the stupidly, stereotypically Italiano. Yes. Like, this is a broad stereotype. Like, yeah, I'm just bringing these broad stereotypes to you. Be like, oh, saints preserve us, I'm a drunken Irishman. Fiddle-dee-dee. Like, what? What even are you? That's only 45% of what my stereotypical Irishman accent sounds like. Anyway, regardless, this is not stereotypical community college accent theater. This is, I started thinking of the theme song, and I was like, this is theme song. No, this is Weekend Type Fun. This is volume 10. Volume 10 of the Weekend Type Fun. Never forget. Never forget that we've done this. This is now the 10th time that this is happening. Will you continue to let this happen to humanity? A humanity that did not ask for this to happen to them once, let alone 10 times. It's going to keep happening. As long as weeks continue to have ends, this is going to continue to happen. Anyway, regardless of La Malfa, adjective, Italiano Origiano. You didn't tell me no. Look, people, this is on you at this point. To be so utterly drunk that one is found attempting to have sex with a tree one thought was the ugly person one thought they were settling for at the end of the night. A lot of one thoughts in there, but guess what? Redefinition number 8, Thomas Massey, the tree. Yep. And look at this freaking idiot. Like, oh my God. This doof. Like, first of all, he apparently pulled out a loaded, locked and loaded, ready to go gun at a Mommy's for sensible guns usage. Or like it's Mommy's for guns, basically. They're not for sensible gun use. I mean, they're not like nonsensical gun use only. They're just like, you know, if you're thinking of people who are like, I support the Second Amendment, those kinds. You know what I'm saying? But when they say they're supporting the Second Amendment, they're not thinking like, I definitely know what a well-regulated militia is, and I'm part of one of those, which is why I have a right to bear arms. Anyway, yes, always. So, yeah, he pulled out a loaded weapon at a Moms for Guns thing. I mean, obviously it didn't go off. Otherwise, we hope he wouldn't still be in Congress, but you never know. Anyway, yeah, this one, he's showing off his little teeny tiny gun and talking about it. Anyway, this guy. Look, let me be honest with you. If you think that I'm the sort of guy who's like, guns are evil and bad, nope. No way. Like, I have very many fond memories of shooting with my dad, and like I do at some point want to have at least a Ruger 1022 in my home, but like I still have reasonably young children. I've seen the way that my son handles a BB gun, and so I'm like, not yet. Like, definitely not yet. We're not ready for, for the real thing. So yeah, it may be a while hence, but like I would like to own that gun. So that's the thing, people, is that like I've used guns. I understand how people can be responsible gun owners, and yet like I am terrified of people who are like, I have the right to open carry. And they just come into the store with guns, which is, you can see that just about anywhere you go in Arizona. Like, you just see people walking around who are like, I bring it with me. And it's like, oh, you make me nervous. Because although I have this, like, connection with my father and shooting, and hey, it's Father's Day tomorrow also, coincidentally. So, yeah, the thing is, that, yeah, so, Father's Day tomorrow. Yeah, like my dad, like I have this emotional connection with the act of going out and doing some target shooting. I've always been target shooting. I've never been a hunter, although I don't begrudge hunters at all. I've had venison. It is delicious. And so, if I could stay in your good graces and maybe get like a pound or two of that good venison, like we'd be all right. Make me some sweet venison jerky. Oh, I have some jerky marinating right now. And I'm going to put it on the smoker tomorrow for myself. Happy Father's Day to me. Get some beef jerky. Anyway, what flavor? Guess what? There's only one flavor of jerky. That's pepper. Anyway, Thomas Massey, like you and your dingus, like seriously, it always bothers me when people are like too much about the guns. Because, okay, you people on the left who are like, no guns ever, no way, that's terrible. Like, okay, please make sure that you've ever handled a gun and that you, like, understand the appeal. Because, like, you don't have to handle a gun very much to begin to understand the appeal. Like, and I'm not talking like put a 357 in the hands of anyone who wants to know. I'm saying like, you know, something they can handle, that they can feel safe with, and they'll come away being like, huh, not bad. Like, which is what you want people. You want people to be able to find a common ground and be able to be like, okay, you people over there who are like, I must have to have it with me at McDonald's. You guys need to calm the frick. Like, let's all of us agree on that. And you over there who are like, none, ever, never, for any reason whatsoever. It's like, yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from, but like, anyway, yeah, if we could just get that discussion. Anyway, people, he the tree, Massey the tree. Redefinition number 9, Tom McClintock. Oh, he's a doof for some reason. He also had a thing when I was looking this up where he was like, I don't know, something stupid that he did or said or thought or aligned himself with. Was he the one who spoke on January 6th? And it was like, definitely have a riot. And then later people were like, you doofity doof. Maybe legal action against you because you helped incite a riot. Like, people have talked about potential legal action against him. Anyway, regardless, I don't know if it's Tom McClintock. I don't know. All I know about him is that he voted again. One of these guys is that guy. Like, one of these guys definitely did talk at the rally before the riot. And yeah, so anyway, might have been this douchebag. Anyway, McClintock, noun, archaic, a used merkin merchant. Merkin merchant, that's fun to say. Oh, you lowly used merkin merchant. You don't have new wares to sell. You only have to take the discarded wares the upper class no longer needs and sell them to the middle and even lower classes. Huh. Yeah, this must be terrible merkins indeed. All right. Here's redefinition number 10. Ralph Norman. Norman is a noun. It's a medical term. An ovarian cyst caused by contact with demon sperm. Hey, fun fact. Remember that time when our president, not the current one, but the one before him, retweeted a video from that doctor who really truthfully actually believes ovarian cysts and other maladies of the lady type bits are caused by demon sperm. Yes, that's a thing that actually happened. So me being like, haha, ovarian cyst caused by contact with demon sperm. Yeah, that sounds like who would say that? Like in their YouTube video, but then again, it's like who would retweet that? Certainly not I, because I don't remember my Twitter login, and I have never retweeted anything, and I'm not sure I know how. That's not being and me being proud of being ignorant. That's me just being like, yeah, that's how much I've not done it, and I don't know that I want to know how. It's just a sign that, like, if I were lying about having done it, then I would maybe know how to do it. One would hope that I would know how to do the thing that I'm currently doing. I don't know how to do the thing I'm currently doing. God, no. Jeez. Was this me trying to be funny on a weekend? Nope. Never heard of it. Certainly not here. Anyway, ovarian cyst, demon sperm. It was in the news, regular news, 6 o'clock news. Bam, 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 bam. Demon sperm. Like, what? America, you silly, silly goat. Hey, kitty, this is the time of night when this kitty decides that I am trying to pet her when I am trying to do no such thing. I'm trying to push her over to that spot where she normally hangs out. Okay, good. She went over there. Anyway. Redefinition number 11. Mike Rogers, who's bringing like his, future TV, future made for TV movie, actor playing him, John Goodman. Like John Goodman getting an Emmy for his portrayal of Mike Rogers in upcoming movie about Mike Rogers scandal, I'm guessing. Anyway, just find out about that Mike Rogers scandal. I don't know if he's scandalous. I don't know anything about him. Let's ask the magic woman. Mike Rogers scandal.
I found this on the web.
On his recommended firing. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Tenure, do. Anyway, regardless, wow, great comedy of me looking up things on phone. I was looking for Mike Rogers scandal. Guess what I found? I might have not have been looking at the right Mike Rogers. That's what I found. Anyway, Rogers, noun, the type of man whose appearance you instinctively memorize just in case you have to describe it to policemen later. Yeah, the kind of guy where you're like, oh, I better remember him. Someone's going to be asking for a sketch because he is sketchy. Oh, maybe that's the origin of that word, sketchy. Because you got a face that shows up in policeman sketches. Anyway, redefinition number 12. Matt Rosendale. Oh, there's something about this guy. I don't know. I don't remember. Rosendale, noun. The type of venereal disease, floral in its shape and verdant in its color, green, which one contracts when one takes the what happens in Vegas slogan a little too seriously. So you get some green flower-shaped disease on your dingle dangle. You get some green flower coming off of your, knobbly bits. You get some green flower hanging up off of your schwingity schwong. That's disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. What happened in Vegas came home to roost, is what I'm telling you. What happens in Vegas is that you assume that if she do that with you, she'd do that with anybody. Anyway, and has. You're like, we don't know how many hundred guys along in the process of anybody. All right. Redefinition number 13. Chip Roy. Roy. Verb. To fail spectacularly despite having prepared adequately. Especially said of attempted homosexual adaptations of Kama Sutra positions. Oh, man. It's true. Like, I tore a hammy trying to get my Roy on. Like, no, you wouldn't say try to get my Roy on. I royed my hammy. Like, I tore my hammy because, like, I was roying it up. I royed with some random trucker. I was trying to imagine, like, who would I be having gay sex with? I don't know anybody. Who would I have the gay of sex with? Who would that special man be? Like, there's going to be a fact that will come up about that sometime in the future. Okay. Redefinition number 14. Tom Tiffany. And Tiffany is like already like the umpteenth person to cover Tommy James and the Shondells. I Think I'm Alone Now. Or I Think We're Alone Now. The Beating of Our Hearts is the Only Sound. Yeah, it's been covered by a lot of people. Tiffany is the one that you probably know. I don't know if you know the Tommy James and the Shondells original or the Rubinoos cover. Don't forget about the Rubinoos. I mean, don't sleep on them. They are, as power pop outfits go, they are as solid as you can find anywhere. For real. Like, I've got that Rubinoos anthology that's kind of a rarity now. It's kind of increased in value since I got it, which is nice, but also, like, I have to treat it extra kindly more than I already would because I love the band. Anyway, Rubinoos is really good. I just really, really like the Rubinoos. Anyway, so, yeah, Tom Tiffany. Get off on, like, Tommy James and the Shondells. Holy smokes. Yeah, this one was hard because Tiffany already, like, you already have associations with Tiffany, like Tiffany the pop singer, Tiffany Amber Thiessen. I don't know how to pronounce that name. The one that was on Saved by the Bell. Anyway, you already have your assumpulations, the ways that your brain constompulates that knowledge. So that's totally a real word. Are you gonna regluck me? You're gonna regluck on my former statement? Well, you had best be prepared to contabulate, because this perflection will not stand. Certainly, I can't mess up the word stand. Obviously, it means what it means. Okay, so Tiffany, noun. A backside so shapely in its contours it causes one to suffer a crisis of both gender identity and or sexuality. Yeah, either or both. So you see that booty and you're like, am I gay / also like this for not gay because transgender? Like, you go through the thing that a lot of transgender people go through where at first they think they're gay and then they're like, no, I'm not gay. I just am of transgender. Like, yeah. Sometimes that's happened with people I know. Anyway. So yeah. That that's what happens. You see that backside. What? Why? Why have I? Why is this what I wrote? Like, I'm generally confused. But know this. I wouldn't mind seeing a Tiffany right now. I tell you that. Like, you show me a backside so shapely that my brain is like, I don't know what my alignment is anymore. No, not my alignment. Yeah, that's right. I'm a chaotic neutral freaking oh, what is the scale of human sexuality? What's that called? Why is it'd be much more funny if I could just pull this. But I can't. Kinsey scale. Oh my god. Kinsey scale. So, yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing a Tiffany right now because right now, cisgendered male number 1 on the Kinsey scale. Pretty sure. Oh, that's right. The stupid cat went up there. I'm like hearing noises, and I'm like, what? What leaves are crinkling underfoot? Because I'm not doing this at a New England forest in whichever month that happens in. I don't know, October? I don't know your months and seasons. I live in a place with one season. Nice / so nice you don't want to go outside. Because it's like 120 degrees worth of nice. Anyway, yeah, but bring me a Tiffany, and let the questioning of all things sexuality and gender identity begin. Fun fact number 2: I become 10 to 20% gayer when under the influence. This is what my wife says about me, and not because there have ever been any encounters. It's just where my brain goes. It just is like, you just deal with it. But I basically have the fluidity of a second semester female collegiate freshman, where it's like, maybe I am. Like, nope. Just for the record, have never had encounters with another dude. And when I say encounters, I mean even romantically held hands with, and stared at a nice sunset. So, like, very much not entangled in anything of that particular nature. Or perhaps the fact that I bring that up is super mad straight, because who is more concerned with how they are perceived regarding homosexuality than straight guys? Like, gay guys are like, yeah, it's whatever. Really gay guys are like, more. But like, straight guys are like, please, none for me. Don't even, like, yeah, anyway. So, I don't know, me explaining. Maybe that's super not gay, or maybe it's, I don't know, whatever. We'll roll with it. I don't give a crap. Anyway, maybe this is true. Maybe this is not true. I don't know. This is find out. Oh, yeah. Look at this that I pulled on myself. Fun fact number 3: this man is sexy. Influencer, no. That is true. Regardless of whether or not I'm under the influence, I will always agree with the statement that Sir Patrick Stewart is a sexy man. As is young Sean Connery. Oh my God, young Sean Connery. Have you seen him? Like, he's a very handsome man. It's true. So, yeah, deal with it. Anyway, buckle up as we tumble over the edge of Gay Mountain. I like how this is a rainbow thing. It's just from, yeah, anyway. I did not plan this as like, hey, let's take a gay left turn. Gay left turn. Is that directions to San Francisco? Like, you go to America and then you take a gay left turn. When you see a big red bridge, then you're like, I made it. Well, I'm in Oakland and I need to get. Oh, goodness. Oh jeez, I don't know if the bridge connects to Oakland. Does it? I have no idea what's on the other side. I've been to San Francisco one time and I loved it there. Like, it was amazing. It was everything. Like, I wanted to go to San Francisco since I was 16 and was like, beat poets, you know. And I did finally go to the City Lights bookstore, and it was everything that I'd ever hoped it would be. And like, awesome. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And like, all around the city, like, everybody was so nice, and like, public transit was awesome, and you just get on, get off anywhere. And like, you know, an unfortunately not passing at a very high level elderly transgendered person will help give you directions around town, and you'd be like, thanks, sorry about the wish you looked more like a lady. Like, that is not what we said, for the record. Like, the very lovely person who was helping out some newcomers to her city and just being very friendly and a good ambassador of the city, honestly. And so, like, yeah, who am I to be like, you should look more effeminate? Like, come on, like, don't be so judgy. She was very nice to us. Okay. And now, Rem, oh yeah, that's right, me, Rem Pemberton. I was like, who's Rem? No, Rem is me. I know who I am. I'm Rem Pemberton of the Clemson Pembertons. You know who I am. I introduced myself at the top of the show. Anyway, and now Rem guesses tops and bottoms. Yeah, about to. So, for legal reasons, these aren't real people. Like, I don't know if there would be any legal ramifications if these were real people. And so they're all computer generated, not real people. So don't feel bad, I guess. Anyway. Oh, the game is tops and bottoms, right? So it's if these people were gay. Well, they're if. They don't exist, so they are definitely gay. Like, let's just assume gayness, because we're not going to offend anybody who's like, I'm not gay. I'm straight but not narrow, and I just support, I'm an ally, but like, I'm not gay. Like, don't say things that aren't true. Yeah, that's not going to happen, because these people are computer generated through some composite web searching trickery, and then smart engineering backwards reverse people face making, And it's funny because sometimes the computer gets things way off, especially hands. Like, computer is befuddled by hands. Like, can figure out freckles on a face, but like hands, it's like, I don't know. There's so many. And with knuckles, like, oh. Anyway, so yeah, if you get ones with hands in them, be prepared for them to be like grotesque and horrifying. Anyway, so all the following people, tops or bottoms, in just a second. I'm gonna go get water. It won't feel like a second to you because I'm gonna hit pause, but it's gonna be a second for me. So yes, back for legal reasons. They aren't real people. They're all computer generated. All of them, Rem. Yes, that's me, Rem Pemberton. All of them. Okay. This one. Okay. She is a top, and she is a jailhouse top because this is a picture of her in court, hoping for a retrial, which was not granted. So she had to go back to the big house immediately after this picture was taken, and she's none too pleased about it. But yeah, jailhouse top. This guy, at the first glance, the first you see him, you're like, top. And then you look over here and you're like, oh, bottom, like power, like nuclear power bottom, like fusion reactor power bottom. Like, holy, yes, holy. That's what they call him down at the manhole. Like, Holy Steven, because he is a bottom, like he bottomed out. Anyway, yeah, bottom. Oh, this guy is a top, and he is like just happy to be in, coach. Like, just put me in. I will just be delighted to be in and have this happening right now. Like, not the best at it, but like aggressively happy to be a top. Also aggressively aggressive because like obviously there's some lip business where he may have made some friends he wished he hadn't. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, but yeah, happy to be there. This woman is like, she is a top, but she is the like, she takes recently divorced women who didn't realize that there's a reason why their marriage to a man didn't work out, and she helps them see that, and she like takes them to mountains and peaks of gentle Sherpa guided pleasure that like they had no idea that they could reach such heights of pleasurable being handled by a top who knows her way around. Like, that's why it says Sherpa, because I was making a metaphor about someone who knows how to like traverse crevasses and ravines and also ascend mountains. If you catch my lewd, rude, and crude drift. Oh God, if I had any confidence that any student would see this, I would be like, well, let's stop right here. This is where it went off the rails. But yeah, students don't watch. They tell me they do, but they don't. This woman is a bottom. And you know what? Like, she is a team player. Like, she is like, is this working for you? Is it working for me? Are we all happy? Is everybody on board? Is everybody stored their luggage in the overhead compartments? Like, are we happy? Or are we good? Did we all get our in-flight snack? Like, And you know what? Like, tops be like 10 out of 10, recommend, like, very high score on Yelp. You know, because Yelp allows you to rate your tops and bottoms. Yeah. So she a helpful bottom. She a bottom who like helps make it magical for everybody. Oh, this senator here. Yeah, remember people who don't exist. But doesn't this is like a senator. This is like they're like, "Hey, give me 12 doofus white guys who voted against or it was 14 white guys. Give me 12 of their pictures. I'm going to composite them together into one mega white senator doofus." And actually, it passed unanimously in the Senate. This is so Congressman doofus. Yeah, this is the congressman. And the congressman he's got a little bit of twang in his accent. He's like, okay, here's what you need to know about Don Ronald Monson is that Don Ronald Monson is he's a man for America, you know, and we're not going to let anybody with not family values, you know, the good old-fashioned family values that you get from reading the Lord's holy scripture. Yeah, that's what we're talking about bringing into Congress. And that's what we're going to do. And then, like, this guy with his, like, family values, which is dog whistle term for no gays. And then meanwhile, this dude is, like, hands on ankles, like, freaking assume the position, like, hit me with your best shot, freaking, yeah, ubermensch power bottom. Like, that's a whole nother level. That is absolutely 100% factually accurate. Okay. Oh my god. This guy. Okay, this guy's a bottom and he wants to be effeminized. And so, like, clearly in relationships with men as a man, and yet, like, wants the men with whom he is in a man relationship, wants that man to be like, you're a little sissy and whatnot. And he's like, I am. And that's how he helps himself feel, yeah, that's how he enjoys his special time, shall we say. Trying to euphemize the life out of this joke. Take whatever hilarity was in it and just be like, euphemisms instead. Instead of hilarity, euphemisms. Anyway, yeah, okay. Oh, bottom. They're not real. They're not real people. And did I have a lot of reservations about putting a picture of a child in there? Yes, I did. But then I had to remind myself, like, these are computer simulations. Like, look at the earrings. Nobody's earrings match, and glasses get weird. Like, everybody's got bifocals and crap. Like, it's like these glasses are half full of water, you know? Like, it's not a perfect simulation. So this is not a person who exists, even though this totally looks like a regular picture of humans and, like, human skin type abnormalities and blemishes and whatnot, and, you know, like, not symmetrical things that, you know, the asymmetry of a real human face. Anyway, but yeah, it's not real. So I showed you a picture of a child who does not exist. I said bottom, it was a joke, it's funny. Keeping it against your protests, person who definitely really exists. Anyway, oh, this is like, she is an aggressive top. she like makes it happen. She's like, are we playing softball or are we not playing softball, ladies? Like, as a matter of fact, she was playing competitive softball. Like, you could tell based on her build and her general demeanor that she was playing competitive softball not that long ago. Like, so she's still in shape for competitive softball, and she's not in the mood to be like, oh, let's be coy and play games. She's like, are we doing this or are we not doing this? Because if we're doing this, we're doing this. You know, she's, yeah, gung-ho, ready to go. Oh, this guy. He is a top, and he is, like, the nicest one ever. He's, like, just always checking in, always being like, what can I be doing for you to help you have a better time? Like, what can we do to make this happen? But not with words, because that'd be annoying. Like, if every 5 seconds somebody was like, how are we doing this for you? They're like, but, you know, with his hands, with his gestures, with his looks, with his everything, he's like, hey, is this working? How about this over here? Let's just make sure we're giving you what you need. And you're like, oh, hey now. And you know, he's just so good-natured about it that you're like, this one, oh, that's something to think about, this one. Like, ain't no one-night stand, this fella right here. He too nice. You got to keep him around a bit. Take him home, meet the parents and whatnot, like, because he's gentle and giving, and, like, he's husband material. Let's just say it. Like, okay, he is. You see that he has the Tiffany derriere, like, is 100% Tiffany back there, like, is for real. Okay, so Little Miss Ma'am right here is a top, and she is, like, she's not the most knowledgeable, but she's eager to please. I was going to say eager beaver, and I'm like, I cannot say that because I'm talking about whether or not she's a top or a bottom. Ain't no way we could be talking about eager beavers when we're like, she's an eager beaver. Nope, we're not going to say that, except for when I'm telling you that I didn't say that, because I didn't. So you cannot have credited it as me having had said that. It's of me telling you that I didn't, because I'm a better person than to have wanted to have been saying that. I didn't say it. Could have said it. Didn't. So you don't, if you're going to come to me and be like, hey, you know what I didn't like? Hey, look, I told you. All right, we got to keep going. Like, she don't know all the moves, but like, she wants to help you out. Oh, this one right here, she is like a fiery and passionate bottom. She's like insatiable, an insatiable bottom. So yeah, like 100% there. Like, definitely can tell. Oh, buddy, that's all hopes. Yeah, that came quick. Well, it's way past time for that to be true. I gotta go to bed. This program, oh my god, the colors. This, I just copied and pasted them from last week, and based on what the rest of the slides were, they were like, we guess these are the colors that you want, orange and yellow. And it's like, no, I didn't want that. You just looked at the middle colors on the thing and we're like, oh, this is, it would have been better if it was dark blue and light blue. Like, that actually could work. Anyway, this will assault the senses. Okay. Sorry. This program was made possible by the Igneous and Gertrudina Buttcomer Foundation and by viewers like you. Promotional considerations provided by Ralph Morgan's Extra Strangly Snakes, The Lonely Ass Librarians Guild, Grandpappy True Reel's Foul Smelling Balms and Gruels. That's my favorite. Like, I love Grandpappy True Reel. Like, he is my Grandpappy. And let us not forget the one and only true God. It will be the Sabbath soon. So remember, you listen to Boulder to Birmingham, and you just cry a little bit, and God accepts your sacrifice. This program was directed and performed by the mysterious personage. I was going to change what the parentheses bit says, because normally I do that, but I forgot. So the part that says, what a doof, accurate. Written by Braxton White Guy. He's not actually this gray. He uses graying creams. And normally we do a whole bit. He'd be like, no, I don't. And I'd be like, yeah, you do. Except for his, no, I don't. You wouldn't be able to hear, because, like, he's like, I'm in the booth with a microphone and he's out there. He can hear me. And if we stopped recording, he could push a button and call into the booth. But, like, everybody would yell at him for wasting tape if he did that. So he never does that. He just yells it, and I can see what he's yelling through the booth. Like, it's obvious. Anyway, but he's not here. I sent all the white people home. It's Juneteenth, so white people got to be celebrating in their own houses. Don't get a whole bunch of white people together on a black people holiday. Like, just if you're a white person, be lucky and nice enough to be invited to a black person's celebration, or alternately stay home and Google, Black history stuff and learn a thing or two, and take a little time to feel bad. That's got to be a part of it. And then try to put some seasonings in your food. Because we'd be told that we don't put enough in there, so we'll try it out. Anyway, Braxton with his graying creams. Theme song by the Out of Tuners. I'm so glad I have a theme song now. It's like, it really makes me happy that I have one. A presentation of Non-Sober Badger Productions. What? Who put this in here? A subsidiary of the large, boring-sounding corporation with surprisingly questionable business practices. Lawful Asset Holdings Incorporated. A branch of the intentionally vague corporation whose purpose may never be known. The Blaine Group. And communism. That's the best one. It ain't dead yet, suckers. All right, people. This is going to be it, because it ends now. All right, bye.